Hello, this is D.Drew from D.DrewGuitars. Today I'm going to show you how to glue on a bridge on a nylon string guitar. I have a part of the way prepped already just to make this video shorter. Okay, bridge was off when I got this thing. So, you want to clean up the glue in here first. I usually use like a chisel, pull on it like this and scrape it. You got to do that in order to get down to some wood, and otherwise if it's just glue in here, the glue's not going to stick to it. And then I'll take some sandpaper, sand it. You want to get it really tight to the edges because the corners are very important. And then what you want to do is get some, I use 80 grit sandpaper, put it on here just like this. Put some masking tape down first, get it nice and flat, no wrinkles. Masking tape first so that when you pick this up, it doesn't pull up any finish with it. And then you want to sand this so that it's going to be, all the glue will come off for one, but for two, more importantly, it's going to have the same shape, as close as you can get it, to this part right here of the guitar. So you want to sand it until you get until you're touching all of the bottom of the bridge. That way it's a nice, good, clean fit. And sometimes when you're trying to pull these saddles out, what I like to try to do is, the way I do it is grab it with some side cutters and just kind of gently pry it up like that, and it will come out. This one here was very stuck. That's why I'm saying that. Okay, so this is prepped. This is prepped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some marks in here with the little dowel, with the little center punch, so that the wood helps adhere to this. And I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom of the bridge. It's supposed to help hold the glue, something to grab onto. So it's a good habit to get into to do. And nylon string are a lot harder to glue back on than a steel string guitar due to the fact the bracing on the inside for one, they're a lot longer for two. And just getting in the hole is smaller usually, getting your hand in there, which you have to do. So they're a little bit more difficult. Okay, I've got this etched. So with the saddle out, what I've done is I've drilled 2 holes on each end of the, underneath the saddle where the saddle will go. The reason for that is to keep this in the exact place I want it when I go to glue it. So I'll get a perfect fit here, exactly where I want it, and then I will drill the holes through the guitar top. Okay, that looks really good right there. About a 1/16 inch drill bit, and then just go straight down. And you're thinking I'm putting holes in here? Yes, I am, but we're going to fill them in with toothpicks because that's going to be our guide for putting this in the right position. Just poke a toothpick through there. These are a little bit long, so I'll break them off. And then these will go inside here. And it will be the guide to get them into the proper place. Okay. So now there's a few different types of clamps that I've seen. This one that I have is from a factory where they use them to glue the bridges on. I'm going to use it on this guitar for one reason. I don't use this style. And this is the style I'm talking about here. It's big, it's bulky. It's kind of difficult in a way. You have to, if you can see this edge down here, you have to have this fitting for the top of the bridge very nicely, so it puts pressure all the way across the bridge evenly. It's got this plate that goes on the inside, and it will turn. That'll help support it from the bottom side, which you have to do so you can get a nice, good, clean, tight fit. This one here has bracing inside, but the bracing is all the same height. So I will use a bottom caul just like this because of that. But I have had some where I've had to make cauls that are cut out just for where all the bracing is. Very difficult, very time consuming, and really a pain. And what you'll want to do first is test fit this to make sure everything is going to fit right. Your clamp, the bridge, you want to test fit it to make sure everything is going to fit properly before you go to glue. I've already done that, so I know it's going to fit properly. See, once this goes in, then I'll turn this straight. And it has a stopping point. See, and then I can go like this. And once my glue is on and my pins are holding it in place, then I can just put this up here and clamp it down. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get some glue. This is wood and wood, so we're going to use wood glue, of course. This is Tight Bond. There's others out there. This may not be my favorite, but it works. And then you'll want to have a bowl of water also handy with the wet rag inside. The reason for that is for cleanup after we're done. You want to clean it up then, sooner than later, I should say. You want to put a generous amount of glue because it's got to fill in all the spaces, cracks, and you want some to squish out. That way you know you have enough. Otherwise, there's going to leave air pockets in there, which you don't want that. So then just spread this out. I'm not worried about getting it on the edges or any place because I'm going to, like I said, that's going to be the cleanup afterwards. Okay, these holes are a touch big for my toothpicks, but this should still work just fine. Saddle goes towards the front. Okay, let me find my holes for my toothpicks. See, I'm filling in the holes now. So that's why I'm not worried about drilling holes in it. They get filled in anyway. You have to have this bridge in the perfect place, otherwise your intonation will be off. There'll be a seam line, which you don't want. And then I have these extra little pieces that are going to go on the little wings, so it puts pressure all the way to the outside. Okay, now we'll move this into place. Put this in the center. We will start to clamp it down. Okay, I'm getting pressure on there, which is good. I want to make sure that it's in the proper place. I really can't see it because all the glue is in the way. So I'll just get rid of some of this glue so I can make sure that it's in the proper place. When the bridge is still attached to a guitar and you're taking it off, you'll use like a spatula or a putty knife to do so. But what you first do is mark it with some tape about a 1/16 of an inch all the way around the bridge so that you can know the exact location when you go to put it back together. And also, when you're using the spatula, it won't scratch the guitar top that way. So this one here was already up. I didn't have to mark it. I couldn't mark it. So I just want to get some more of this off. Make sure it's in the proper place. And that looks actually pretty darn good. So now I will clamp it down some more. And be sure to test fit without glue. It really helps. Make sure it's tight all the way around the edges. Crank this down nice and tight. Okay, now what we'll do is we will get it out of all the nooks and the corners. And you want to do that because now is the time to clean it up. Once it's dried, you're stuck with it pretty much. It's hard to get it all off. Try and get everywhere underneath the caul if you can. Be careful not to scratch the top of the guitar. You can still see some glue oozing out, which is kind of good. StewMac has clamps for this, which is the ones that I normally use. Okay, now I'm going to clamp this down some more, just to, and see some more glue is coming out, which is good. And then a couple more little things, and then that's it. We let it sit for 2 days. So I'm going to let this Friday, so I'm going to let it sit over the weekend, come back, and then I can pull the clamp off, clean it up, and then put new strings on it. Okay, good. So now what I want to do is get another toothpick and clean out where the strings go through down on this area, because I get glue in there. I don't want the glue to harden in there, so I won't be able to get the strings through. So I try to get all that glue out. Get a piece of old string. Make sure I can get all that glue out of there. Otherwise you won't be able to drill them out later because it's too close to the body top. Cool. Now I still see some more glue coming out, so get my rag, wring it out. Make sure this is nice and tight. And now I'll just get a rag, wipe this all off. Sometimes I use Windex, but this got really wet, so I'm not going to worry about it. Even you don't want to glue film, nothing around this, any place on it, because it's harder to get off later. And that's it. So this will be part 1. When I pull the clamp off, will be part 2. It's not that difficult if you have the right tools and a little bit of knowledge. So there you go. Clamping a bridge on an acoustic nylon string. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like. Thank you very much. Have a good day.